And welcome back, students. Let's get into our last lesson on exception handling basics. Today, let's discuss multiple catch blocks. So kind of getting started here, and it's going to be a kind of a quick one today, but a try block can potentially throw any number of exception values, and they can be of differing types. Pretty much it doesn't have to be just like the exception E, it could be like a mismatch, it could be a different format. We've seen some different examples of it, and you can actually throw those different examples. Now, in any one execution of the try block, at most one exception, since the throw statement ends the execution of the try block, will be thrown, but different types of execution values can be thrown on different occasions when the try block is executed. Now, each catch block can only catch values of the exception class type given within the catch block heading. However, you can catch exception values of differing types by placing more than one catch block after a try block. So, for example, the program catch more blocks has two catch blocks after its try block, and of course our class negative number exception is used there. And also we are going to be using division by zero. So if we look here at our example, we have our try right here. So in here it says to try, how many pencils do you have? Asks for pencils, goes here, and you can see if the erasers is less than 0, it's going to throw a new negative number exception. Otherwise, it says pencils per eraser is equal to pencils divided by double erasers. Else, throw new exception division by 0, because you can't have 0 as the denominator. So let me just close that out. And remember, this is our division by 0 exception. It's just a extension of the exception class. And here is our negative number exception. Again, extending, can't talk today, of the exception class. And if I go ahead and run this program, it's just simply going to ask me how many pencils I have. So let's say I put in a positive number, like let's say 5. Right? How many erasers do I have? Okay, let's also say I have 6 erasers, right? Because that should be positive. All right, so each eraser must last through 5/6 of a pencil and a program. If I run the program again, right, and let's just say now that I have 5 pencils, and let's say I have no erasers. All right, it says do not make any mistakes in a program, because if you look right here, division by 0 exception, because it threw that exception. All right, if my erasers is less than 0, throw the negative number exception. But if it does not equal 0, do this, and all the way to this. So pretty much negative number, positive number, 0. So if I show this with a negative number, so let's just do 5 pencils again. Let's do negative 4. Cannot have a negative number of erasers. So it's a pretty simple program, but it demonstrates how we can call multiple different throw statements here. Right? And that's going to be about it for that part. But we have a little bit more to talk about in terms of a pitfall. Right? And with this pitfall, the idea is here that you want to catch more specific exceptions first. So the more specific the exception is, generally the sooner you want to call it. So let's look at that. So when you're catching multiple exceptions, the order of the catch blocks can be important. When an exception is thrown in a try block, the catch blocks are examined in the order that they are in your code. And the first one that matches the type of the exception thrown is the one, therefore, that's executed. Thus, the following ordering of blocks would not be good. You have catch exception E, catch negative number exception E. Now, you might look at this and automatically recognize, yeah, that's not good because, well, exception E is a very general exception. It's kind of like your catch-all, if you will. Whereas negative number exception E is very specific. Let's talk about the negative number. So with that order, the catch block for negative number exception would never be used, because all exceptions are being caught by the first catch block. It's the general catching. It's like, oh, I'm an exception. Catch. Fortunately for us, the compiler is going to warn about this. Probably tell us that it's like unreachable code, because we can't get to it. So the correct ordering, therefore, is to reverse the catch block, so the more specific exception will come before its parent exception class. So with following catch negative number exception E, catch exception E. So very important that we make sure we put the more specific ones first, and then our general one is going last. And that's it for today, folks. I told you it was a quick one. So we will see you next time.